Yo guys, Anboni here, and as I promised, I'm gonna make an arena commentary video, and this is it. So basically what I'll be doing is I'll show you a couple of games that we played, and I'll be pausing the clip a lot, and I'll just tell you what's going on, what our goals are, what I'm doing, and all that. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm sure you must have seen someone else do these kind of things. Mind you, these games are from the first day of, actually not the first day of 6.1, but the first day we played. First of all, let me introduce you my partners. We have F, the Arcane Mage, and we have Ellie, the Holy Paladin. So that way when I tell you that Ellie Hodges, well, you can probably guess he's the Holy Paladin, but yeah. Before we get started, you can check the bottom left corner of my screen. I have an add-on called Trophy GCD. It's gonna be in the description below probably because a lot of people ask me about it. And what it basically does is it shows you guys, it's for you guys, it shows you what abilities I'm using. You can set it up so it shows enemy abilities and teammates abilities and all that, but I just have it for myself for now because I don't want my UI to be too clustered. So yeah, let's start with the first game. So this first game is against an RMP team, and our goal here is to kill the mage. However, if the rogue cloaks and trinkets and he has neither of those available, we might swap for the rogue because he dies pretty fast. So Ellie gets sapped here, and I special guys immediately because I expect them to open on me. Instead they open on our mage, on F. I get sheeped and Ellie gets deeped. So right here I see the priest special guysing, and that can only mean that he's going for a fear. So since the mage broke my sheep, I'm going to fear ward Ellie, and sure enough, see, I get feared, F gets feared, but Ellie gets saved by the fear word. Okay, so right here F wants to go for a pump sheep, so I'm calling that I'm ready when I have my 3 orbs, and this is a mistake I do because I should have waited for 5 orbs so I can do the most damage possible. So F pump sheeps, and I horror the mage. We normally want to have a hodge on the rogue as well, but Ellie was too far away. But we go for it anyway. I pop my Shadow Fiend, on-use Trinket, and spam Mind Blast. I also pop my Vampiric Embrace because I want us to stay offensive normally. But in this case I think it was a mistake because they were all CC'd and no one was hitting us really. And as soon as my horror ends on the mage, I run around to fear the priest. And even though F calls for a second sheep, I decide to fear anyway because I can get the triple fear right there. And as soon as I fear, both rogue and the priest trinket, and the priest gets put into a silence immediately, and the rogue gets put into a hodge. So right now F can't really hit the mage because he's line of sighted by the boxes, and he needs to go through the Ring of Frost. So since the rogue has no trinket, and is in a full hodge, he decides to go for the rogue instead, while I hit the mage. And eventually the rogue, I guess, panics and cloaks. So we got cloak and trinket from the rogue really early. That means we definitely want to swap to rogue on the next CC chain. So right now I'm just trying to get orbs back and get ready for the next burst session. And Ellie gets deeped here, and I tried to MD, but the problem is I MD 1 millisecond too early, and I actually dispelled the deep freeze instead of the polymorph. And the priest is coming to fear Ellie here. I saw him and I wanted to go fearward, but I didn't realize it was on cooldown, so that was my mistake. So as a result I get feared as well. So right now I have my horror back up, I have my fear and my silence, and I have 3 orbs. So we definitely want to go for the rogue now, because he has no cloak and no trinket. So right here the enemy priest decides to dispel a VT and gets disoriented by it. Out of that I'm going to psychic horror him into a fear, and we get a hodge on the rogue. That means the rogue is stuck on the hodge with no dispels, no trinket, no cloak. And I put the priest into a full fear and I dump all my damage into the rogue. I also have a silence for the priest when he gets in line of sight, but it wasn't needed because the rogue just died there. And that's game. In our second game we're gonna fight a Marksman Hunter, Unholy DK, and Mistweaver Monk. And our goal here is to kill the Hunter. So right now I'm just trying to dot as much as possible and get orbs as fast as possible. As soon as I see Gargoyle I'm gonna shackle that. And right now I have 4 orbs. I think Ellie bops F here to stay offensive. He pump sheeps the monk and he trinkets instantly. And right here Ellie hodged the the hunter, but hunter trinkets as well. So we got 2 trinkets right away. And I'm gonna fear the monk right now, and he's gonna nimble that. So basically, the next CC chain, the monk can't do anything to it. And I'm pausing this here just to show you guys. Since the enemy monk is a dwarf, I vampiric touch him and silence him at the same time. That way, if he uses his stone form ability, he will get horrored by the VT. So he can break my silence, but he's gonna get horrored. However, my mistake was I didn't realize that this was. No, in 6.1 the dwarf racial has a 30-second shared cooldown with trinket, so he couldn't have stone formed this even if he wanted to. So that was a waste of a VT. But it's a good habit to have when you know their storm form is not on cooldown. So since the hunter is so far away from F and Ellie, F decided to swap on the DK, and he forced his AMS, and he also forced life cocoon from the monk. And this was a really big mistake from the monk, and it's actually the reason why we're gonna take this game. They're both gonna swap on me. What I'm doing right now is, or what I should be doing, is just spam Mind Blast on cooldown and get orbs as fast as possible. So I get pretty low here, but I get bopped. Luckily the Trank Shot didn't get my bop off immediately. And we have all our offensive cooldowns now, so F's gonna sheep the monk. He can break this sheep. And we're gonna overlap the Hodge and the Horror on the hunter here, because it's one of our first games, and we're still screwing that up a bit. So the hunter's really low here, and F just got a second sheep, and right now I want to do that thing again where I VT and silence the dwarf. That way, if he, as I said before. So I do that, and as you can see, it works. He does use his stone form and he gets horrored, and the hunter is really low in the deterrence. And I actually did something really stupid here. I had the brain fart, I remember it. I was gonna fear right out of my the whore, whatever it is, but for some reason I thought the hunter was the monk, because they have the same kind of the same green HP bar. So I feared myself to rush to him, but instead then I realized the monk was actually behind me, and I went back. And in that global cooldown, or two globals, the hunter almost got back to full HP. I do manage to fear eventually, and the hunter's gonna power shot me down, and I'm pretty low and pretty far away, so I'm gonna special guys. So nothing's hitting me right now. I don't care about the flare, I'm close to my healer, so that's fine. And right now I'm just trying to get orbs back until I have my my CC. So we should be pulling back right now and just get orbs. So I'm doing a much better job right now with orbs. He already got 4. Okay, and right here F calls that he has Pom back up, so we can get the Pom sheep on the healer. He still has no trinket. So this is gonna be a guaranteed CC chain, and again we overlap Hodge and Psychic Horror on the hunter. Luckily he doesn't have trinket either, and we do have the damage to finish the game this time. So that was GG. We kind of messed up a little bit, and there's a lot of things I could do to improve as well, but I think rewatching your videos like this, rewatching your games helps a lot. So let's go through one last game. Let's do one where I get trained. So this is another game against an RMP team, and same as last time, I shield myself and expect them to open on me. So as soon as I see the sap on Ellie, I'm gonna spectral guys right here, and the mage pet novas me out, and the rogue opens on me with a full kidney shot, a smoke bomb, adrenaline rush, and his shadow thing, and there's frost orb as well. So I trinket that immediately, otherwise I'm gonna instantly die or have to disperse. And the only thing I do right here, and the only thing you can do, is just get Mind Blast. F calls for that he can Pom sheep, so we're gonna go on mage again. As soon as I see the polymorph from the priest, I pop my disarm on the mage, as well as my unused trinket, shadow fiend, and try to do as much instant damage as I can while walking towards the priest, so I can fear him out of the sheep. F calls that he can do 2 more polymorphs, so I wait for both of them, and then I fear both the priest and the rogue. The priest immediately trinkets and he gets silenced, and right here I get kidney shot again. And this is not very fun. The rogue got pretty low from F. So the rogue cloaked, and he has red buff, and Ellie got deeped, and he's about to get rung. And what I'll try to do in this video, I will try to MD, I'll try to fake cast his kick a lot and try to MD. Where what I should have been doing is just push my special guys button. The mage has no AoE going around, and if he does AoE, then he's gonna break his own CC on Ellie. And same as the rogue, if he AoEs to get me out of special guys, he's gonna break the CC on Ellie or Paladin. So I should have just Spectral Geist here, but instead I tried to MD. Eventually I get an MD, but by the time I get it, Ellie's out of CC anyway. The Priest tries to Fear, but Ellie had the Fear Word. And right now the Rogue doesn't have Trinket and doesn't have Cloak, so we can swap the Rogue again and kill him. Okay, so right here F gets a full sheep on the Priest. So I use my Gnome Racial to break free and also a Feather to get close to the Priest so I can fear him out. Unfortunately, Ellie gets in a full blind and calls out that I'm not okay and doesn't have me. But I yell out that I'm fine because I know I have Dispersion and Spectral Geist available if I'm getting really close to dying. So that means I can afford to stay offensive. And sure enough, I pop all my damage, fear the Priest fall. And he's not dead yet, but he's gonna die soon. I still have Silence soon, like in 4 seconds, and there's Rogue. The Rogue goes down. It's a pretty good game. That Spectral Geist wasn't a huge mistake, but it could have cost us the game. So that's pretty much it. Tell me what you guys think about this format and what can I do to improve. Thanks a lot for watching and have a great day. See ya!